with the Bears.
All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the WeBookit podcast. Let's start the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the We Book It podcast. That's right. We are here. It is your Sunday night show, and I am your host, Virgil, here with some very special people, my boys, the We Book It boys. First and foremost, I got my man, the freakiest one of all the freaks. He is Freaky Fritos.
What's up, Virgil? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my singles and tag team competitors. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. If you didn't know, the UFL's back, so I am so happy. We've got football back. I've got football back. Oh, and those Hawks have won.
That's not football.
Football is the law, baby.
That's not real. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I'm in a real pissed off mood, so I might not be the best host today. We just gonna see, but you'll laugh at everything that I do.
It's early, man. It's early in the season.
No. Damn all that. Don't see.
You gotta have some optimism, bro.
I'm gonna keep
rise above. Rise above.
I have no rise above in me about this. None.
Are you upset the Cardinals won or 3-0? Is that why you're a little bit more upset about the
Fritos, man, don't.
I'm just asking a legit question.
Gave him the boot.
See, you can add him back when you want to, but I refuse. I'm not adding him back. Anyway, also here with me is one of my good friends, my brother from another mother, Big Daddy C. What's up, C?
What's going on, man? Hey, Fritos, you mentioned the UFL is back. I have yet to pick a team. I was like BSing last year when I went to the championship. I just rooted for whoever. But so this is the closest team in the Midwest. I'm declaring my fandom for the St. Louis Blackhawks. I mean, oh damn, what the fuck? The Battlehawks. I'm sorry, the Battlehawks, bro.
They're combining both teams now.
Yeah, damn. See, that's God saying, "What the fuck are you doing, Claude?" No St. Louis teams.
St. Louis teams. Never.
But just starting out as a UFL fan, I'm just pick a team, and that's the one. So I'm just gonna be like this for now. So yeah, historic moment for me. I don't like it, but
law
it is what it
is the law, right? That's the saying, right?
It is what it is.
I hate them stupid blue jerseys they wear too. Stupid.
They're sick.
Nah,
they need to add another color. Like I feel like, the colors the color combination they got is not the best.
Blue, gray, and white. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
that's basically what the Lions got.
Yeah, the Lions are trash.
Oh no! What is?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of you guys' shirts.
It was like when it's the Vince version of it when they first came back.
Oh, okay.
See the shit you got to deal with when you a St. Louis fan. Look at that. See what he's wearing? That's what you're choosing to support, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Never support anything.
I'm like, ain't like I can't go. I'm like, where else am I gonna go? I'm not gonna go across this damn country to go see another team play.
Anywhere. Listen, I go to St. Louis Cardinals games just to watch them lose. It gives me the greatest pleasure to sit and watch them lose. I laugh at all their fans as they are being beaten to a pulp. And you can throw that little 3-0 thing in my face right now, Fritos, but I guarantee you that ain't gonna last long.
Oh, I know. I'm fully aware. Hang on, let's see. Next closest team. You could be a Michigan fan.
I thought about that, honestly. One
of the guys from my high school football team, he's on the team. For the Michigan Panthers? Let's see who else is close by. Yeah, that's about Memphis. Memphis Showboats.
Memphis not bad. Memphis Showboats ain't bad. See, what's their color scheme?
Yeah, color scheme.
Basically, almost like the Nashville Predator color scheme. With that bluish.
Okay. That tells me nothing. What's the color scheme, brother?
I'm looking. I gotta take the glasses off. I'm getting old here. Yellow with a dark blue and white. So yeah, exactly like how the Nashville Predator color scheme is. If you look at their logo.
Okay.
Well, I ain't doing everything in Michigan. It's only reserved for college. Okay, so as far as we're gonna keep it, because there are other sports that I do not root for the state of Michigan. So let's be real. All right, but nevertheless, let's talk some wrestling, Mike. Let's talk some
All
wrestling.
right. Fine. All right, guys. So beginning the wrestling topics. First topic we have for you tonight, folks. The We Book It boys noticed something, especially Big Daddy C. This year's Rumble has no WrestleMania main events. There is not a women's championship WrestleMania main event. There is not a men's championship main event for WrestleMania of the person that won the Royal Rumble. Did Triple H miss with the Royal Rumble this year is the question.
A bit. Because, yeah, as you pointed out, we don't have anyone from winning the Rumble in the main event. We've got they announced Punk, Roman, and Seth for night one. The night two, Cena versus Cody. You're kind of missing the mark.
Cody Rhodes. Cody.
You're missing the mark with Jay. His name is main event Jay Uso. How are you going to call yourself main event Jay Uso and not be on one of the main events for one of the nights?
Mm-hmm.
I think with the Charlotte thing, I think he took a little bit of credit for what the fans are. They were upset that she won and how she's going to be another dominant force, and they don't want to see that with Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So I could get it with the Charlotte thing, but with Jay, he should have been night one, and Cody should have been night two. So I think he did miss, at least with Jay. Charlotte, I think it was the right call. I don't know where it's going to be at in the card yet. They haven't really announced it, but definitely missed the mark with Jay.
Now, I will say this. It just dawned on me right now. I feel like the only logical reason I can see Triple H doing this is because he was also a victim of this many, many years ago. Mike, you know where I'm going with this. Take you back to WrestleMania 25.
Okay.
A certain superstar named Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble, faced Triple H for the WWE Championship. It was the main event of that WrestleMania. What came before that match is to this day arguably the greatest WrestleMania match ever. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Triple H and Randy Orton had to follow that. And that was the main event. So my guess is that Triple H didn't want to risk having Jay versus Gunther as the main event, and it ended up being a dud match if the triple threat match was right before that between CM Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins. You have a big time match like that. That's money. That's box office, and then you follow it up with Jay versus Gunther to end night one. So that is the only logical reason I could see Triple H deciding not to have the Royal Rumble winner like in the championship match as the main event. It's the only logical reason.
I see where you're going with that. See, I can appreciate that. Couple of things. First and foremost, you are absolutely 100% right. Triple H, it didn't happen to Triple H just once either. It happened to Triple H twice. So Triple H went on went on and main evented after Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker had arguably the greatest match of all time. However, a few years before that, Triple H main evented WrestleMania with Y2J Chris Jericho for the Undisputed Championship. The match right before that, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan in Toronto.
Oh man.
And Triple H fought that main event. He wanted that 2002 main event. He went and petitioned and said the world title should close the show. And he got that. However, he got what he asked for because the fans could care less about his title win because they all cared about Hulk Hogan and The Rock on WrestleMania 2002 that stole the show. Then you look at 2003.
Wow.
Then you look at 2003, Triple H versus Booker T didn't even main event. It was like middle of the card. You still had the Vince Hogan match after that, and you still had Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. Now 2004, the triple threat between Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, and Triple H that did main event WrestleMania 2004. And in 2005, he did Batista. 2006, he was injured. 2007, he did 2007. The main event
was it him and Cena in the main event?
2006 was him and Cena main event, Chicago.
Oh, okay.
2007,
because Ray wasn't. Ray wasn't main event.
Yep. And then 2007 was Undertaker Edge. He was again middle of the card with the triple threat match. And then obviously 2008, which is the one that you brought up, where he did main event again against Randy that year. And like I said, it fell flat because of the simple fact that the whole crowd was, the air gets sucked up the crowd after Triple H. I mean, after Undertaker Michaels. So that's one thought. Second thought is they screwed the pooch choosing Jey Uso as your Royal Rumble winner. I mean, I hate to say that, but the backlash from the fans and the amount of people that's doubting Jey, it's not that they're doubting Jey, it's that Jey Uso
too early.
Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, the same Royal Rumble that CM Punk is in, the same Royal Rumble that Drew McIntyre is in, the same Royal Rumble that Seth Rollins is in, the same Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns is in, and you pick Jey Uso as your winner over John Cena as well.
Shock value. Good old shock value.
Yeah, but that's tough. Now, a believable Jey Uso win is Jey Uso climbing the ladder and winning the Money in the Bank. The believable thing is slapping Yeet on a Money in the Bank briefcase and just having him walk around with that crap for about 6 or 7 months. But having him win the Royal Rumble is a tough ask of Jey Uso. Sure, he's over with the fans. Yes, he's over with the crowd. Yes, everybody is yeeting. Why is my phone lighting up? It's really weird. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's a tough ask of him for only being hot for this long. I mean, you would have got a better reaction had LA Knight won the Royal Rumble, I think, than you would have had Jey Uso won it. He's an entertainer. He's not like, I don't know. He's not Jey Uso is not the guy. He's a great talent. Intercontinental Championship, book it. U.S. Champion, book it. He probably will be a one-time world champion. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know. Fans are struggling with the whole thought process of Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And he probably won't hold it for long. I mean, just get that out the way. But the fact to be able to say he is a main eventer, he is a former World Heavyweight Champion. Hopefully they don't Kofi him. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he is a.
Don't you speak that into existence, sir?
Look, man.
Because you know what that means. That means Brock Lesnar has to come back and beat him for the championship. We do not need
somebody
that.
Saw Brock Lesnar out about a month ago. Somebody saw Brock Lesnar out, and they asked him. They were like, Brock Lesnar, do you think you ever return to WWE? He said, "We'll see." He didn't say no. He said, "We'll see." So, like I said, I mean, listen.
Poor Jay. Poor Jay.
Listen. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Or they do the predictable thing and give the World Heavyweight Championship to Roman Reigns on Raw. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, a lot can happen within the time, but Jey Uso's gonna listen. The yeet thing is one thing, and it's fun, and everybody loves yeeting, and it's something to get the crowd involved. However, like I said, he has to put on bang up matches too. And I mean, like I said, him and Gunther have a tall task ahead of them. There's a lot of pressure for that World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, that title gained so much prestige because Seth Rollins held it first, because then Drew McIntyre held it, and then because Damian Priest held it. Like I said, I mean,
the
it
work in
meant
this
something.
championship.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know. And Gunther overseas has been putting on banger matches. His matches on TV suck, but it's because of the way they're building his character up. They didn't want to make him an unstoppable heel, but you know what I'm saying? Because they already had that with Roman Reigns, so they didn't want to go the same route again. I get that thinking, but you needed to put somebody else stronger in the ring against Gunther. I expect Gunther to probably beat his ass, and Gunther might even retain the championship. To be honest with you, I don't know. We'll see. Any other thoughts on that?
I wouldn't mind if they transition Jay for a short run, take the IC off of Braun Breaker and make Braun Breaker the next heavyweight, and they do the same thing like they did with Roman. Just the unstoppable force for a short time till, I don't know, if they call up Randy to switch on Raw and take the world heavyweight or something like that. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. They did miss the mark with the Money in the Bank, I think. You know how much money Jay would have made and the company would have made? Yeet in the bank, slapped on the briefcase or something like that with a bunch of tropical designs on it. That would have been money. And they could have got a new briefcase. Each show, like how he does the new shirts, how there's different colors. They could have done something like that too. That would have been nothing but money.
Absolutely. Literally and figuratively. I see what you did there.
Because who was the last one to cash in?
It was Drew.
Who won? It was Drew. Drew. Yeah.
Damon's last successful last year.
Yeah, because CM Punk calls Drew, right? So yeah, they definitely should have. Yeah, they should have had Jay win, and then he could have been the one to cash in at any given moment in time. Maybe many. Who knows? Like, yeah, they definitely should have did that. But I think that. For one, I think Gunther is going to retain too, because you do not want to see the same guy lose the championship at back-to-back WrestleManias. He lost against Sammy last year after going on a historic run with the IC title, and I ain't gonna say a historic run with this championship, but because he hasn't had many defenses under this championship compared to the IC title. So but you don't want to have a guy that magnitude losing back-to-back WrestleManias, losing championships. So I think they'll have him retain it. And then with Jay, on top of that, it's almost like with Cody last year. All right, you finished the story. What's next? How are you going to convince people that you're a worthy champion that can go on an entire year? And they've managed to pull it off with Cody. But are they going to would they do the same thing with Jay with the World Heavyweight Championship, have him at least for 3 months or so.
With Cody, though, that was a slow burn to finally.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with you too, Fritos. Couple things with that. Problem is, first and foremost, with Cody, his title reign sucked for the first 6 months. It was awful. After he won the championship,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That whole bloodline stuff was horrible. Nobody thought that Solo Sikoa was going to beat him for the championship. Everybody was just biding the time until Roman came back or until The Rock showed up. So you literally basically had him biding his time. His title reign didn't get good until he started fighting Kevin Owens. They cooked. Kevin Owens till now has been great. But the whole first 6 months was awful. It was sleepable.
Because they started out because it was Solo and then AJ Styles feud. So you didn't think the AJ Styles feud was that good?
Enjoyable.
Look, they just put the championship on Cody. You knew he wasn't going to lose it. That's the conundrum with doing a slow burn to a championship victory. There was this big release, and you knew he was going to keep the title for at least 3 months.
Yeah,
at least 3. So everything he did with AJ into the stuff with Solo, you knew he was going to keep the belt. Now, what got interesting is the fact that the best feuds in WWE for the past year had no title bearings. None of them.
Yeah.
None of them mattered about it. It didn't care about the championship. One of the best matches, one of the best builds up that's happening right now, one of the best character traits or character switches that we're seeing right now is without a championship. Who is that? Transitions into our next topic, Naomi. Naomi is doing some of her best character work. She is putting that theater arts degree to the use right now, man, because she is just doing some of her best work. I'm telling y'all, like her vignette on SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown, and then coming out and literally choking the bitch. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to smack a bitch? Oh man, I'm telling y'all, like, nah, man, it was. I'm sitting here looking at her like, what? Who is this? Like, she looked demented. She looked like what was that movie that Beyonce was in where she went half crazy and she was crying and stuff like that? Yeah, yeah, dude. I was like, wait a minute, like this is that type of levels of acting talent I'm seeing from this woman right now, and I'm so impressed, so impressed. What did y'all think of the stuff on SmackDown? I know you covered it already, Fritos. I'll kick it to you first and then see.
Yeah, I dig it. And I think what they're doing, they're kind of taking a page from Bayley when she turned heel, where she was the hugger, and now she dropped that gimmick and became more serious. And what we see now with Bayley, I think they're taking that same page with her, which I'm looking for. Granted, did the glow, was that a great part of her character? Yes, it was fantastic, and it probably made her a bunch of money. But they're doing this whole new heel thing. It's going to take some time for her to, merch and all that, and figure out the character. But wait, like you said, choking her out, perfect. I'm digging it. I'm looking forward to see what they do also afterwards with Jade and her, because some people are still speculating that Bianca still might have a slight hand in it. We don't know, because you know how they do it. It's going to be a slow burn until we find out the truth. But I'm looking forward to see what we get more with this new heel turn from Naomi.
The women have been cooking, man. That interaction between Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill feed families. If done right, what you think, C? And you're on mute.
So I thought it was a good segment. I feel like I think the last time we saw Naomi Hill was when she was with the group, her, Tamina, and who was the other?
Team Bad, her, Sasha.
Yes, Team Bad. So that was probably the last time we saw her healed. It was something similar to this, but it wasn't on this level. Like, she wasn't like crazy demented. Like, she didn't have this type of like character. So it's good to see that they're like transitioning, like trying to have her come off as like this big time heel, which is good. Like, sometimes like it takes a revamping of a character, or like, a character change to like really, like, I won't say get over, but really make a feud believable. And so I feel like this could lead to a lot. Like I said, I know they kind of having Bianca focus on the championship right now, but like, I feel like it ain't, she ain't done with this whole feud. She gonna get back at this point.
No.
Yeah. Oh, you think you think it's done?
No, I'm saying you're right. No, she ain't done yet. No, she's not done.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I honestly think her and Naomi like have been in cahoots this whole time. So we'll see what happens like with that. But I do like to see that they are like trying to make Naomi, this big time heel. I definitely think it'll be beneficial for her, because when she came back, it was nice, the whole moment with her and Jordan Grace, like that, it was a nice moment. Hopefully they lock it up again once Jordan Grace makes it to the main roster. But I think Naomi definitely deserves, this little mini push right now. I don't know if it's going to result in her winning the championship down the line.
Money in the
Bank. It could. Yeah, it could. You never know. Like, is if Bianca wins, which I think is going to happen, I think I could see her and Naomi going at it, if they do not elect to have them both be heel against Jade, but we'll see.
Oh, Fritos, you was finna say something. That's why I stopped.
Oh no, I just interrupted. See, I said Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
You could just have her be that devious heel that's running around with the case, just waiting for a chance to bite.
Yep.
Take the championship.
Right. Or her and Bianca really are heels, and this is going to be their reckoning, you know. Because think about it, you got Jade. Eventually, you're going to see Becky Lynch back in WWE, but according to all sources, when you see Becky Lynch, it's going to be a different version of Becky Lynch than we've ever seen before. So I don't know. We'll see, man.
They're probably just gonna make her crazy too. like,
She's gonna have all her hair shaved off.
Right, let's turn. Let's say the best route to turn any diva heel, just make them crazy. Like they did it. They like when Bayley had her change, she complete 180. Like she ditched the ponytail, all that other shit. I mean, she got long hair now again, but like her whole character changed. So like, she became this crazy, demented person, and so it just seemed like that's the trend nowadays. Everybody go crazy.
Go crazy. All right, y'all. But guess what? It's time for one of our favorite segments. I'm in charge for this one. Who to watch for? All right, everybody. So who to watch for in wrestling this week? Well, one person that we need to look out for is former NXT champion Ethan Page. Why do I say Ethan Page? Because Ethan Page showed up in TNA, guys. That's right. I'm sorry to ruin a spoiler for you, but Ethan Page showed up in TNA wrestling, looking like he's probably going to end up feuding with Say His Name and He Appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. So yeah, it looks like Ethan Page is headed to TNA, the land of opportunity, to fight for the TNA championship. Which good for him. Good for him. I like the fact that they're letting him go out there and express himself and try and do different things. He has the freedom to be able to do so, and it's just a great opportunity for him. It's a great opportunity for him, and if he takes that TNA championship from Joe Hendry, that just means it puts Joe Hendry closer to making his WWE debut, because I feel like it's in the works too. So definitely want to watch out for him. And then the other person that you want to watch out for, that's right, guys, Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace made her presence felt at the end of NXT. It's looking like a stand and deliver. Her versus the current NXT champion, and also women's North American champion at the same time, Stephanie Vaquer, who just actually celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to her. Turned 32 years old. She looks very young. She better be a baddie of the week this week. But anyways, she came through. Jordynne Grace stood tall next to her with her high boots on. They looked at each other face to face. The champ raised up both belts, and that was the end of NXT for this week. So you want to watch out for Jordynne Grace, want to watch out for Ethan Page, two superstars who to watch for with their current season. Thanks, Virgil. Appreciate you for doing the who to watch for this week. Now, the next topic I have for you guys, I wanted to speak with you guys about a segment on AEW television that I caught that I just thought was pure cinema, very entertaining. So we know that Adam Rated R Cope was unable to successfully wrestle away that AEW World Championship from Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. However, there was a sit-down interview that happened that aired on this week's AEW Dynamite, and I just thought it was one of the most entertaining things. So you have FTR sitting together, and you have Cope sitting next to them, and Tony Schiavone is trying to interview these guys, and literally you feel the tension, and you almost could cut it with a knife. So like they're just going back and forth with one another, and I'm just sitting here like, God, this is really good television. That's one of the best things AEW's produced in a long time. this is really good. This is even better than what they're doing right now with the Hurt Syndicate and MJF, which I'll get to that next. But I watched the segment and I just thought to myself, okay, who would you turn heel here? Who would you have be the babyface? And what are your thoughts, guys? So what are you guys' thoughts on that segment?
I said let the AEW host on your Wednesday, Thursday night take it over. Take it, Big Daddy.
Could you repeat the question again, Mike?
Who would you turn heel? Who would you turn face in that situation? And what are your thoughts on that segment?
Well, obviously, the route that they're going looks like FTR is going to be. I would turn them heel, making Cope face. Basically, just them beating the shit out of Cope, saying, basically, hey, you got in the way of what we were trying to do, and as win back these championships. And I feel like this could lead to the reunion of Cope and Christian. And that's what I would hope that this ends in. So that's pretty much what I would think. Turn FTR heel, and then have Cope be face, and then eventually him and Christian can reunite after how many ever years of them, because I think it's been what, damn near 2 decades, almost 2 decades since they've had a tag team match.
The last tag team they had, if I'm not mistaken, because by the time Christian came back, I feel like Edge already retired. Yeah,
he did.
Well, no, he was getting ready to retire.
Because Christian came back. What was it? 2000 for after the TNA run, he came back when
2008. Edge retired in 2010, so they were together for 2 years.
Yeah, but Edge was heel and Christian was face. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that it's time. I know they have plans for Christian to do the whole world championship thing, but I know the same thing with Cope. But I feel like for right now, having FTR go against Cope and Christian will be box office, especially consider the background between the two, and knowing that, I believe it was it Dax, or was Dax the one that helped train him when he came back, or was it one of the two helped train Edge on when he came back? Was it 2020 at the Royal Rumble? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's like so many layers and background, and they even kind of like alluded to it during the interview. Like they talked about how he's been so beneficial to their careers and vice versa. And so it's just so much there that they can lean on, and I feel like it'll just add to it, honestly. So I think they'll do this whole match, finish all this whole feud with the Death Riders. I think this trios match will probably be the end all be all for their alliance. And so now I think that's when they'll turn heel. But yeah, I think it's probably best that FTR is heel, and I feel like it'll be beneficial for them in the long run, as they eventually get to the tag team championships, whoever the champions are at that time.
Agree.
I rewatched the clip a couple times before we came on the pod. The one thing I did notice, it seemed like Dax was more on the attack, being the aggressor, and that Cash was defending Cope throughout the whole thing. So I would hate to say, I think FTR might be breaking up and Cash is going to be heel while they keep Cope face.
Interesting.
I can just see it that way. I know they've been tag team guys for years. That's how we know them, but I could see them maybe pushing Dax for a single run after they do this feud.
Could be. I wouldn't be mad about it at all. I would not be mad about it at all. Then my second AEW segment that I saw that I thought was really good was obviously MJF coming out, cutting a promo, flaunting his Hurt Syndicate card, and then of course almost MVP. I'm sorry, say MJF. MVP came out after that, and he and Bobby Lashley ripped up the card. So I guess in this situation, are they turning MJF back face? And like I said, because you got to keep the Hurt Syndicate heel right now, and like I said, Bobby ripped up the card, so it looks like there's not going to be any MJF returning to the or MJF becoming a part of the Hurt Syndicate. So what do you do now?
I'm going to take a page from WWE here. I could see them almost do Bloodline-esque storyline with like Sami Zayn and how Sami was slowly integrated into the Bloodline storyline until he was fully into it. I could see them do that with MJF. You could keep him heel, but let's just say after this tag team match with the Learning Tree, trash, maybe have MJF interfere and help them retain in some way. And slowly build the trust with Bobby. And eventually he's integrated into the Hurt Syndicate.
So let me add it with this whole match. Now that you mentioned the Learning Tree, so are they pretty much in like tweener stage right now? Like they're neither heel nor face. They just ass kickers by design, essentially. The Hurt Syndicate, like it's almost like the Brock Lesnar approach. Like they have no designation. They just tweeners. Yeah, they feel like they much. Okay. Because I'm like they feuding with everybody. It's not like it don't matter who it is. It seemed like they just whoever wants to challenge us, earn your way up, and we gonna knock you down. So pause. Oh man, that was tough. That was tough. Oh man. But yeah, we're going to defeat you. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
We'll see what happens. But I want to know. This is what I want to know. Who is the baddie of the week?
Full screen me, please. In the music.
He's still working on it, so please don't take it out on Virgil again.
I know. I'm giving some grace this time. There we go. Thank you, mighty Virgil. Thank you. My baddie of the week. It's funny, Mike. You mentioned Stephanie Vaquer, because that's exactly who my baddie of the week is. I thought about this after her both of her successful title defenses. So I did factor in actual wrestling this time around. All right. In addition to her beauty, she's a beautiful woman. And she's Hispanic. Oh man, I got a thing for Hispanic women too, man. She had an interview and everything, bro. I just she had the English and the Spanish. I was like, bro, sounds sexy when she talked. But yeah, that's my baddie of the week, Stephanie Vaquer, man. Congratulations on a successful title defenses and happy birthday to you as well. And that is my baddie of the week.
All right, thank you for that, C. Now, for our final topic of the show, what is the favor? We're each going to go around and say what we think the favor is. What do you guys think the favor is? The favor I'm speaking of is what is the favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk for CM Punk helping out and bailing out his tribal chief in the War Games match last November?
So since we talked about this on your Friday night throwdown, hoedown, bring it around town, break it down, throw it egg, whatever you want to call my Friday night SmackDown recap, we talked a little bit about the favor. you talked about how you believe it might be Paul Heyman escorting CM Punk out for the triple threat. I kind of like the idea, but here's my twist on it. Because I don't see why would you play mind games in WrestleMania when the ultimate end game for Punk is to be a champion. I mean, yes, it's going to mess with Roman, but what's the point? Roman's not holding a title. I can see him be escorting Punk, maybe SummerSlam, and I already talked about triple threat match: John Cena, Randy Orton, Punk. And have Paul be his escort out there.
So far away though, like,
hey, I'd say treat the favor. Since they brought it up, Survivor Series, treat it like Money in the Bank. Keep bringing it up once in a while. Be like, I still got the favor. I still got the favor. Just like how anyone with the Money in the Bank briefcase, keeps flashing and says, I still got it. I could cash in at any time. I think you treat this like the Money in the Bank since we don't have anyone with the briefcase right now. So treat it like that for right now at this moment.
I like that. What do you think, C?
Yeah, I was also thinking the favor would be escorting Paul Heyman escorting CM Punk out, but at WrestleMania would be a huge shock. So everybody, including Roman, be like, all right. Because it'd be like, Roman, where's my wise man at? And then all of a sudden, Roman comes out there first. It'll be Roman. Well, it'll be Seth, Roman, and then CM Punk, and then CM Punk would come out there with Paul Heyman. And then that just makes everything crazier. The match itself. And so I feel like that's the best option, I think, after watching SmackDown. Because I also thought that I thought that Paul Heyman will somehow get CM Punk a world championship match, probably a Backlash or something like that. Whoever wins the match gets a championship, opportunity at Cody or whoever else. Or hell, it could have been, or put him in a triple threat match night 2. It could have been something like that. But after he's like, nah, that's not the favor I wanted. Even after announcing that, hey, you're going to be the main event night 1, I was like, all right, probably could be him escorting. That's the only other option I can think of. So, I mean, it makes sense, honestly, because CM Punk he was a Paul Heyman guy, before Roman. So, but that's the only favor I can think of right now, besides, possibly, CM Punk getting a title shot, down the line. But yeah.
I have one more theory. My last theory is the match is in limbo, and the favor is Paul Heyman hands the chair to CM Punk instead of to Roman Reigns to finish the match and win the match.
Ooh.
At WrestleMania.
There's no DQ, so yeah, it will make sense.
Because what you have to do here, this favor is going to drive a wedge between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. That's the whole point of this. It's the end all of this. Roman Reigns is turning face and probably being drafted over to Raw.
Yeah.
So here's what's the favor? The favor is splitting them up. So that's my thought. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm very interested in what the favor is. One of the best running lines going. Any last thoughts, fellas?
All right. Let's just say they do split them up. This is the part of the favor. Who does Paul go to next? It's not Punk. Do you still think it's Seth, like how you talked about last Friday podcast, or do you think maybe Braun Breaker?
Absolutely be Seth, or it could be Braun Breaker, one or the other.
I think honestly it'd probably be best for it to be Braun Breaker, because I feel like you want to lean, because he's already been the Paul Heyman guy with CM Punk. He's been in with Brock, he's been in with Big Show with Roman. I think it just makes sense for him to actually go to the next generation of superstars, and he's already talked about Braun Breaker being that potential guy that he can manage, and then there's that connection with, with him, his father and his uncle, obviously, they've been around the company around the same time. So, it just makes sense, so I think, I feel like he definitely be now. Braun's already on point right now, but he needs that I feel like he needs that extra kick. He needs that manager that can to help get him over, help pretty much sell his dominance. And I feel like Paul Heyman is the best guy to do that. He's the best guy. You can. Some other guys that, they're in other companies that could be that manager, that big time manager role. But right now in WWE, Paul Heyman is the guy to put anybody over. So,
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I wouldn't mind them taking the page from Yokozuna versus Bret Hart, where Yokozuna cheats. Mr. Fuji throws the powder in Yokozuna's face, and I'm sorry, where Mr. Fuji throws the powder in Bret Hart's face, and then Bret Hart loses that match. And as he's walking up the ramp, Hulk Hogan comes out to check up on Bret Hart, and Bret tells him, "Go get him." And Hogan goes down, and he wins the championship. I would not mind. Let's just say, it's a slaughter between Jey Uso and Gunther, and Gunther retains the championship easily. And as Jey Uso's being helped, his running mate, the person he travels the roads with, and the person he works out with, Braun Breaker, comes out and immediately challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship on night 2. Let's say he loses the Intercontinental Championship night 1. I'm okay with that. He doesn't need the IC title. And of course, this is going to be like a fatal 4-way or a 5-way. He probably won't be the one to take the pinfall, but he'll lose his belt. But he'll come out the next night, check on this boy, and I checking on this boy. Jay tells him, "Hey man, go get him, Oos, go get him," something like that. And then, like I said, or Gunther pushes Braun, and then Braun just goes crazy berserk or whatnot, and Gunther accepts his challenge. And then, like I said, Braun spears the hell out of him with that super spear, and then he wins the world championship that night at WrestleMania. I think that would be a good rebound, good recovery for the fact that they messed up by not having Braun probably win the Royal Rumble in the first place.
I dig it.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, it will be a nice callback to that moment, honestly, and just a more modernized version of it, and more athletic superstars.
In case y'all wanted to know, that was your Virgil's magic moments in wrestling moment. Don't do it. Don't you do it, Fritos. Right now.
You can't do it. My moment.
He did the Mickey.
I thought why you play with me.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
Dad.
That's a good plan, though. I trust Triple H to shock us. I trust him. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm ready. I already made sure to call off work for WrestleMania, so I am ready for all WrestleMania events when the time comes. So I'm ready to be shocked and wowed. So this is a Super Bowl for us wrestling fans, and we get 2 nights of it this time, not just 1 night. So I love it.
Absolutely. But what I love is Fritos Fave 5.
Fritos Favorite 5. Sponsored by nobody.
Yet. Maybe we clean it up a bit, folks. Come on. We got to get our back. This is a serious wrestling podcast. But Virgil, will you please kindly hit my music, sir? Ooh, big screen. That music. At number 5, I've got Jimmy Uso. Had pretty decent matches both on Raw and SmackDown, but what makes him at number 5 for me is challenging Gunther tomorrow night on Raw, but in slapping the living dog shit out of him. Jesus Christ, I felt that through my TV. I felt that slap myself. That was painful. At number 4, I've got 1 Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton. He had a decent match with Drew, even though he lost and is set up for Kevin Owens. But what makes him a number 4 for me is when he came out and had his promo with Cody Rhodes. And he says, I'm going to take a page from John. I'm going to challenge for number 15. And if he gets number 15, I think that's going to be a great historical moment for Randy, but also a great historical moment in wrestling if Cena gets 17 and Randy gets 15 this year. At number 3, I've got the Hurt Syndicate for roasting the Learning Tree. Yeah, fuck you, Learning Tree. You guys suck. At number 2, I've got John Cena. His promo this past Monday was fantastic. You kind of teased a little bit more with Cody about him talking like he ran off, but I like everything I'm seeing from this heel John Cena. I need it. I wish we had this earlier in his career, but I'm glad we get it right now. At number 1, I've got CM Punk. With 2 shout-outs, basically taking shots at AEW, saying he works with with children, and also after Damien chokeslammed Drew through a car window with real glass and him smirking, taking those shots at AEW, and also hearing that he's finally getting what he's wanted more ever in his life, getting that main event spot in WrestleMania. Now, we still don't know what the favor is, but who knows? It's going to be fantastic when we finally see what this favor is. And that has been a Fritos Fave 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't hear you, see.
You're muted.
Yeah.
All right. Now, see, what would you rate that Fave 5, sir?
I give it an A. Saw nothing wrong with it.
I also will give you an A. All right, folks. So that has been your show for today. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for tuning in to another wacky episode of the We Book It podcast from Big Daddy C, from Fritos, from Coach, from all of us here. We appreciate you guys. Until next time or until tomorrow night, keep those booking pencils sharp and keep on booking.
Deuces.